Another sunny day, a little on the windy side out here in the northwest panhandle. We're here in Moore County, and we're going to back to our second visit of the season, I believe it is, to talk about this Dryland replicated agronomic cotton evaluation site here in Moore County. As we went through the season, got emergence, and got going with the crop, just want to talk a little bit about precipitation. We, according to the Dumas record, we've had 6.42 inches of rain there out of Dumas, and that's just a little bit to the west of us. A little bit to the north of us, just a few miles, Sunray was reported 7.21 inches. Since that's through July the 9th, and we haven't had any significant precipitation that I'm aware of since then. But anyway, here at 51 days, roughly 7 weeks, we just passed 7 weeks after planting, we've had that kind of moisture. So really big blessing for getting started with the crop. Most of that precipitation, I might point out, has come just within the last couple of weeks. So that's kind of even a bonus as far as setting the season up for moisture. Just another little tidbit, we've had double the rainfall amounts in 2021 compared to this time last year. And I think that's pretty outstanding. Now, along with that, you'd expect with the higher rainfall, you'd expect a little cooler conditions during that time, and maybe some more overcast. But when you start looking at heat units and the development of this crop, it looks like it's playing out to be a very good scenario. Let's talk a little bit about stage of growth. Where are we now? Well, on average, looking out here just yesterday, on average we're at about the 13th leaf stage on our true leaf stage on our plants. That's nodes above the cotyledon node. And in terms of growing degree days, 60 heat units, we've accumulated 600, right at 680 heat units. When we talk about stage of growth, really we're at a good, we're well on the doing well as far as growth and development is concerned so far. Back up just a little bit and say something about Pinhead Square. I didn't have a chance to get here right when we were during those few days when you'd really be looking for to call Pinhead Square stage, but based on what I see this week, I'm gonna say we were at Pinhead Square right about the 1st through the 4th of July, and that's well, I'd say well on track for this crop. At that point, on average, according to our guidelines out of Lubbock and for the Panhandle here, we'd be at a Pinhead Square about 517 heat units, or growing degree days, and for cotton. And now, as we mentioned, we're at 680, and we've got 5 to 6 nodes of squares. And if you look at most of these plants, and I'll show that a little closer here in just a second, we've got squares. We're pretty well loaded up on the plant. We've got squares at every node position, every one of those 5 to 6 node positions. At about 752 heat units, you would expect to be, according to the information guidelines we have for the Panhandle, you'd expect to be somewhere around a third grown square. And I think this plant pretty well, just pulled this a little bit ago, but there's your first square, and I would call that well in that range of a third grown. That's at the node number 5, I believe, or 5 or 6, and then we've got squares on about every node as you move up the plant. Just a touch on the fertility out here. We talked about the fertility that went into it, fertilizer put in, some at planting last time, some micronutrients. what we're looking for going forward, I'm looking for is any pending potassium deficiency, phosphorus, nitrogen, those kind of things, maybe perhaps micronutrients. So far, I'm not seeing any issues with deficiency. Now, on the potassium, you know, that's typically where if there's going to be our pending deficiencies will more likely show at closer to the first flower as we begin flowering. So we're, you know, still a week and a half, 2 weeks out from that. We're not far from seeing first flower out here. So that's something we'll keep kind of keep tabs on. As far as weed pressure goes, we've with all this moisture we've had, we've got some grass that is come in and took off, taking advantage. It's spotted in places, a little thicker in others, but that's something that's being dealt with right now with a herbicide application, and that should help on that end. As far as insects, not really seeing a whole lot for problems. Disease, pretty much on top of things that way too. So we'll talk about some more things with development as we go forward, and look forward to visiting with you again.